Now, as long as the entertainment industry has existed, women have faced issues such as abuse, sexual harassment, and of course discrimination on set. Wanting to bring positive change for women to address these issues, an organization called SWIFT was created. So Sisters Working in Film and Television, which is the acronym for SWIFT, is a fresh and energetic non-profit focusing exclusively on the common concerns and shared experiences of women working in film and television. So Zoe Ramushu, who is the spokesperson of SWIFT, joins us in the loft to tell us more about their work. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you so much, Jeannie.
So lovely
really
to have
great.
you here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Why was SWIFT started? And explain to us a little bit more about your role within the organisation.
Sure. So SWIFT started in 2016 at the Durban International Film Festival.
Yeah.
I think it came out of a sort of crisis in the sense that women realized that they needed an organisation to represent them.
Yeah.
In our industry, we know it is very much a male-dominated industry, male-led industry. It has been in the past, and women have sort of worked in silos on their own, sort of trying to find their way and figure their way through this very sort of patriarchal system. And so SWIFT comes out of that basic need for women to have someone to speak on their behalf, but also just a sisterhood, a sort of a system where you have women that you can lean on, you know, people that you can reach out to, people who have sort of, in a sense, there has been a boys' club that's existed that for the longest time. So now this
is the girls' club.
And so this is the girls' club, essentially, yeah.
I must be honest, I've been so fortunate in my life. I've been in the entertainment industry since I was 18 years old. I've been on television since I was 21. And I'm so grateful that I always worked with women. I always had female producers. So I've never really had major struggles, unless, you know, with lots of other different things, like with emceeing, have I come across men being inappropriate and that kind of thing. But thankfully in my career, I haven't had anything like that happen to me. Looking at your career, why do you think it's so important for an organisation like SWIFT to exist?
I mean, I think the main reason I would speak about it is I come from a legal background before I moved into the industry. And so I sort of had the tools to sort of arm myself and have a lot of knowledge about what's okay and not okay. But I'm not your typical story, you know. A lot of people
Me
come
neither.
straight,
I don't think a lot of women have it as easy as I did, I suppose, in the entertainment
you know,
industry.
the average young woman who comes into the industry is desperate, is hungry. I'm sure you remember that absolute desire to make it in our industry. And unfortunately, women are kind of created, they're very tooled in our industry. And to make it, it's a lot of the time about the way you look, the way you dress, the way you present yourself. And it is about that to a certain extent, and then it becomes something that's abused. And so, in essence, I think there's a lot of struggle for women because of the grey areas in our industry. We're not a formal corporate system where, you know, you have an HR, you have, you know, an office that you attend every day. I mean, it's project to project. You're shooting in random locations. You're staying in hotel rooms. You know, it's not your typical industry. And I think that's what creates these grey areas, and because nobody's regularized it or created any systems, a lot of abuse has happened.
So what are the main concerns, I suppose, for women in the entertainment industry? Like, I'm not quite sure, do we have it as bad as America in terms of, you know, this whole Me Too movement where men are extremely inappropriate, like we've just seen what happened with Harvey Weinstein? Or is it more the case of women not being paid enough and women not getting the right roles? What are the major concerns in South Africa?
I mean, I think you've hit the nail on the head with that. I think we experience both. I mean, there's the inequality in terms of just gender pay gap that is so massive in our country. But what I can speak to more, because we actually have done a research report on it, we did a survey and established a research report that actually looks at the findings around sexual harassment in our industry. This was before the Me Too crisis, before the Harvey Weinstein and everything. And I mean, women in our industry just don't feel safe. You know, a lot of people...
But is it women in the industry or women in our country, I think, just don't feel safe overall?
I was going to say, so for us, it's not necessarily just our industry, but because we're such a visual industry, we're so visible, I think it's really important that it comes from us, that it reflects what's actually happening for everybody. And so with our research report, we found out a lot of the areas where women were struggling in terms of just basically coming into a workspace where, for example, you do use your body as an actress, as, you know, that's an example, and then that gets abused. So I think that was one of the major things in terms of the issues.
So how does one become a member of, I mean, what's the setup of the organisation? How does one become a member? Or if you need help and advice, how can you be part of it?
So Swift is a member-based organisation. If you just go onto our website, Swift SA online, you can sign up, you can click on the link, and it's very quick to join. It's an amazing thing because it's not just about the sexual harassment. As I said, it's a sisterhood.
Yeah.
We have like a database and a group of women who constantly are offering each other work. You know, people who run production companies, it's women who have experience taking women under their arms, you know what I mean, taking them under their wing and, you know, showing each other the ropes.
You know, I've been on TV my entire adult life. The fact that something like this exists now is unbelievable. I'm just, as you're speaking, I'm trying to imagine how things would have been different had this existed back then when I was younger, and well done. All the information on Swift will be on our website, afternoonexpress.com or .co.za.